see you gather before me.
It is...
What did you...
Go. The world's never-ending creation.
Wouldn't... Then...
Medallion's humming. Place of power, it's gotta be.
Roach. Come on, Roach.
Watch it.
Doors need something.
Watch it.
So you're back. Was right, wasn't I?
Wouldn't mind a look at you. Wouldn't mind a few rounds of...
What did you witchers do? Was there
Best blade's not worth shining.
May your axe never crumble.
What times? The black one. These vessels are terrible. Once you step.
Geralt of Rivia.
Ha! Sit with us, Witcher.
Found your message on a notice board.
You see, Palmerin, I told you. The griffin at White Orchard. I knew that were we only to follow the tracks of its slayer, we would in the end find Geralt.
Milton de Peyrac Peyran and Palmerin de Lawnful. Good to see you both. Been years.
Be assured, we share your joy.
You must forgive us our surroundings. When we pledged to place the village under our protection, the village elder gave us this hut as our lodgings. He swore it is the best hut in the village.
Get involved in some squabble?
We discovered that in retreating, the Redanian garrison had left this land stillness at the mercy of numerous plagues. The tyranny of bandits, the most onerous among them. These plunderers shall soon descend on this village to collect tribute. Milton and I will dissuade them.
We are both sworn to fight injustice and oppression wherever they rear their heads. The matter does not concern you, of course, but do us the kindness of waiting. Once we have dealt with these marauders, we have a matter we must present to you.
So, plan to go out and meet the bandits when they arrive? Fight them?
Palmerin wishes first to appeal to their sense of decency. But I expect they will be deaf to this.
Yeah, completely.
We must afford them a chance to stand down. Many a hardened outlaw has left the path of wrongdoing upon hearing words of admonition.
Doesn't happen in these lands. Ever.
If they do not heed my reprimand, we at least will know we have done all within our means to evade bloodshed.
Fine. Naturally, I'll help when Palmerin's rhetoric falls on deaf ears.
Excellent. Then we've but to wait for the rogues to arrive.
They're coming!
Hear that? Your bandits have arrived.
Let us go out to greet them.
Hark! Contemptible curs!
He mean us?
I, Palmerin de Lawnfall, call upon you to repent. Search your hearts. Do you not see that they are blackened?
Regular Punch and Judy here.
To prey upon commoners is no honor. To loot their meager stores, abandon the path of shame, and we will spare you.
Right good jest, that. Had us a laugh. Now, fuck off before we lose our patience and you lose something else.
Nay, wait, Zorg. These lads are a lark. Mayhaps they know some tricks.
Oi, players! Can you toss balls all loopity-like? Or do that thing where one spits fire while the other farts?
Noble Palmerin's giving you a chance. Now I'm gonna give you some advice. Do what he says.
Or what?
Or you'll find yourself fighting knights errant in the pay of the Duchess of Toussaint. And they eat scum like you with their morning porridge.
There's 3 of them. 2 turtled up in armor. We'll come back later.
Some wench sent them. Folk will say we's afeard of wenches and jesters.
Ooh, insulted the Duchess. Not good.
Indeed, we cannot let the affront go unpunished. I swear upon the Heron you will pay with your own blood. By the crane, villains, ready your arms.
Come on! Glory of the Great! I shall make pate of you!
Shut up and fight.
What is that?
Why do they not emerge? It is over. We have banished the scoundrels, lifted oppression's yoke from their lives.
Warned you it'd be like this. Fear you as much as they did the bandits now. Sorry, no fanfares and flowers. You're not in Toussaint.
It is true what folk claim. In the north, no noble deed goes unthwarted. It is time to go home.
And we shall, my friend.
Come, Geralt. It's time we delivered our message.
So fess up. What brings you such a long way?
We are to deliver Her Grace the Duchess's message in full, with all due ceremony. For tradition
is sacred in Toussaint. All right, fine.
Most honorable Geralt, slayer of monsters and all evils nefarious, which prey on the defenseless of this world. Whereas never have you been known to deny help to the innocent, nor leave widows and orphans to fates undeserved. Answer you now our present summons. Free us from the beast which floods our streets with blood, and sows panic in the hearts of rich and poor alike. Come to our aid, Witcher. Thus humbly beseeches you the Star-Crossed City's most gracious protectress, Her Illustrious Highness, Duchess Anna Henrietta.
Shall you answer her call?
Anna Henrietta really say all that? Word for word?
Well, in point of fact, she said, bring me the Witcher and dare not spare your horses. Only make certain this time he comes alone. The Ducal Chamberlain added the rest. You know how it is.
Yeah, I remember.
I might add, be it unofficially, that a hefty reward awaits. Yet
might be the most fervent request that I take a contract ever. And now we've got all that behind us. I want to hear more about this beast.
Most assuredly, though no one has caught a good look at it as yet. Our only sure witnesses.
Look, some sketches drafted from descriptions given by those who claim they glimpsed the beast. Each quite different. To my mind, these witnesses lie.
How many victims so far?
2. When Her Grace learnt of the second, she discharged us immediately to fetch you, promising grants of land and fortunes in gold, should you answer her summons.
An ill wind blows, Geralt. The beast cannot be tracked. Folks say it wields black magic. Also, both victims were nobly born, and the start of a tourney draws near.
Beast wields black magic? What makes you say so?
The first victim vanished between bites at a feast. Of the feast-goers, none noticed this. They saw but an open window.
The second killing, similar. A night in a locked room. Servants all about the house. Guards all around the estate. Yet the beast somehow got him up.
We have no fear of creatures against which sword and shield protect. But of this beast, nothing is known. Save that it cannot be traced, kills effortlessly, and with no rhyme or reason we can discern.
Anyone tried to hunt it? Knights errant for...
Ha! Many have tried. Baiting, wait.
The beast is clever. It evades all traps and attacks of us.
An experienced tracker. This is what we need. With knowledge of monsters.
Mentioned a tourney. Why does...
Simply, it is too late. The guests have arrived. The best knights of all. The beast could be a threat to others, not just to...
Got it. Before an aristocrat dies, at best it's a scandal. At worst... I sometimes think back to all the contracts I've ever taken from sovereigns.
You cannot be thinking to refuse.
No. Just struck by a thought. How the Duchess can sometimes be... demanding.
So you accept the contract? Excellent!
We must set off at once. We long wanted this land searching for you. Yet time is of the essence.
Ready to go, soon as you're packed.
Then post haste to Toussaint.
To Toussaint! Toussaint, the land of love and wine.
Exactly how I remembered it.
You will find Beauclair has changed some these past years.
Walk about when you have the chance. You will see for yourself.
To me, place always seemed straight out of a fairy tale. Knights errant, elven palaces.
You insinuate that we are somehow odd? I shall prove you wrong. This I pledge on the Heron.
big beast. Tackling it single-handed? None too wise.
Neither is love born of wisdom, Witcher. So, Guillaume, outfitted. Which fair damsel inspired you to vow to kill that filth?
The most beautiful among them.
If he wishes to guard her name a secret, he need not reveal it.
You I do not know, sir, nor seem you a knight, yet still I am profoundly grateful, nay, indebted to you for your succor. This trophy, sir, is yours.
A giant this close to humans?
Well, that was no ordinary giant. His name was Goliath, rumored to have been a knight once, but one who broke his vows. For this...
So he came back down? Why?
Several times each year, hunger chased him into the lowlands. Goliath had killed and devoured many shepherds. Guillaume's hunt... At any rate, it's a tale for more agreeable environment.
I'll take the trophy. Why not? Put up a good fight against the giant. Got experience battling monsters?
None. In Toussaint we mostly chase bandits. But I vowed I'd bring my heart's champion the head of a monstrosity, as the famed Gottfried, known as the Giant Killer, did.
You don't mean to hunt the beast, I hope. The matter's best left to Geralt.
Another challenge awaits me. Yet if Geralt is to hunt the beast, he ought to know. It struck again. The river surrendered a corpse. It washed up in the meander by the cockatrice. Damien de la Tour's guardsmen are there already, securing the area.
Securing the area? Better go there now before they trample any tracks, manhandle any evidence.
Set forth, then. I shall ride for the city to inform her gracious magnificence that Geralt has arrived. We'll meet later, near Guillaume's tent at the Tourney grounds. I shall take you then to see her grace.
Come on. Brave kid, Guillaume.
Parmanin oversaw his upbringing. Guillaume is his kin.
Can't get used to the way you knights talk, especially how you switch back and forth between flowery and, well, near normal.
We are knights errant, in the service of her gracious magnificence. When we appear in her name or speak on her behalf, we are bound by tradition. No one here. They must have removed the body already.
Let's look around, make sure they didn't miss anything. Hobnailed boots, multiple sets of prints. Ducal guard, clearly. Let's see where they went. Walked along the shoreline.
Perhaps the body lay on the bank.
Anything taken by the current ends up in these shallows.
Yes, the stench is fierce.
Got guests. Careful. Stench. Let's keep looking. Junk that came down the river.
You must keep searching.
Nets were attached here. Only blood-soaked scraps left of the victim's clothing. Good quality cloth.
A wealthy victim, correct?
Looks it. Blood. Guardsmen pulled these nets out of the water, then cut the mutilated body free. Gonna dive in, make sure they didn't miss anything. Look at the rut. Guardsmen left this site by boat, recently, probably to transport the body somewhere. See, a noble's accessory, clearly. Be nice to know where they took the corpse.
What now?
This isn't the site of the murder. We know that. Current brought the body here. Corpse got caught in the nets. Guardsmen pulled it out, put it in a boat and took it somewhere. Need to find out where. I'd like to look at the corpse before it starts to decompose.
The inn. Its patrons must have seen the guardsmen, which direction they took. We should ask there.
Seems we've got ourselves an audience.
You think this surprising? The locals will tell the children of children they do not have yet, of the day I...
One thing. Found a handkerchief in the water.
Delacroix? It cannot be. Was it he the beast slew?
Seems so. Knew him well?
Long past. We were close friends once, but our paths diverged. He was a man of extremes, standing by his companions, no matter the odds. Fighting his foes to the bitter end.
Foes? You have a lot of them?
He did. But I do not see what that has to do with the beast. Ah, Geralt, you've struck a rope.
I understand. We can talk later. But...
I shall have to leave you soon. Return to court.
Barely got back to Toussaint.
Knight in the service of Her Illustrious Highness knows no rest. In fact, I'd feared I would return too late to fulfill my duty. Yet it seems I've arrived in the nick of time.
I bundled already. They say her grace is called in some temple of the beast. Amidst killer and ruins, squats the still with no life.
By my troth, Could that be the musty scent of fresh pate?
Naught else, Sir de Peyrac Peyran. I see time has not dulled your senses.
We would be honored if you would join us. Your companion as well.
But why do I not detect even a whiff of crayfish chowder?
No soup today, on account of there being no crayfish. I reckon you've not heard, but all I caught was a corpse. I awoke at the crack of dawn, as I do each day, but when I looked up, I beheld a blood-red sky.
This corpse is precisely why we're here. For the man whom you've invited to join you at the table was summoned from a far-off land by her gracious magnificence. He is tasked with tracking and killing the beast.
We invited 2 men to join us, yet since Sir de Peyrac Peyran in temperament is more akin to hare than hound, I surmise the other is the hunter. With whom do we have the pleasure?
Name's Geralt.
A humble introduction. You've clearly not tarried long with Sir de Peyrac Peyran.
Spare us the petty insults. Geralt is a master of the witchering trade. He has questions concerning the beast's last victim.
I was the one to find the corpse. The sun had just risen when I awoke, sat straight up in my bed, looked out the window, and beheld a sky red as blood.
Ask Geralt, please, or we shall be here till winter.
Must have been early in the morning. Went to check your nets and then...
I stepped out of my hut and saw...
By my troth, to the point, man. You found a body ensnared in your crayfish nets. We know this already. What happened then? Did you see anyone nearby? Did you spy anything noteworthy? Anything at all?
Not a soul around, just me. As for noteworthy... well...
What did you see? But be warned, if I hear the sky was red again...
I saw a head bobbing, eyes bulging, the tongue blew and popped out. Next to it, a hand rocking upon the water.
Get a good look at the body parts?
They gave me such a fright. I bolted to town fast as my legs would take me, then returned with guardsmen who told me to keep out of their way. They had a hard haul. The parts were so tangled up in my nets, they were forced to cut them.
Need to examine the body. Know where they took it?
They ferried it across, then loaded it on a cart and hauled it to a cellar at Corvo Bianco to keep it cool, see?
What? Why, Corvo Bianco is Baron Rossel's estate. When he learns they've turned his cellar into a morgue, he'll set his hounds on them.
While you were gallivanting about the north, his vineyard was auctioned off.
Who was that? Woman who just left. Didn't see her before. Didn't notice her walk in either.
Doubtless Lillis, the innkeep's daughter. But hold, Geralt, because this is an outrage. Rossel's vineyard was auctioned off? Inconceivable.
It is no secret the Baron had gambling debts up to his ears. It finally came time to collect. His creditors auctioned off his property. The ducal chancellery bought it, in fact. Rossel now bunks with his brother in Vicar Fowl.
I told Rossel he'd get his comeuppance. How long can one draw on past heroics? His creditors must finally have to find that his promises meant nothing.
Such are the times. Today's knights are pale shadows of the heroes of yore.
It's true what they say. God sent the beast to punish us for straying from the old paths.
So folk think the beasts...
Knights have turned their backs on the old customs. Where they were defective.
Why, you insolent...
Let him talk.
The Duchess trades in titles, grants honors to ill-doers. We've strayed from the path of virtue.
Don't listen to that nonsense, Geralt. It's rehashed
Yes, the rebel rousers have been sprouting up like weeds.
They say anything else about the beast? Besides it being a messenger of the gods?
The Toussaintois are no fools. They see clearly the beast kills on days honoring patrons.
Picky monster. Thanks for the hospitality.
Corvo Bianco lies a short way from here, near the tourney grounds.
Not coming with? Oh yeah, duty of some
sort. Her Grace bestowed a great honor on me, even before we departed for Velen. I'm to play the hare during...
A little tempted to ask a few questions, but it sounds like a long, complicated story. One involving lengthy digressions into local...
Dung boots the least part. They come but to pour wine down their peasant gullets and start quarrels.
Oh, dear. Normally I'd encourage you to...
Could replace them with something.
Replace crayfish with fish? I beg you. What next? Vinegar for wine? Pot...
Not likely to taste your famous fisherman's chowder, so maybe we could place... Thought I knew them all. Guess I was wrong. Message on the back, signed by a certain Count Monnier.
Greetings!
Got any gossip?
Yes, about a Norkling.
Asked a serious question.
And a tactless one. I do not eavesdrop on my client.
Thanks.
To be born in Toussaint is to be
What's
born
in
under
the works
lucky
today?
stars.
Swimming, wine, rolling in the hay.
Greetings. Oh, behave yourself.
Ducal clerks looking for help. Could be good coin to be made.
The guard bring... To our domains, flogged its writ and brought in chains.
Go, go. Heard you calling. Wanted to talk?
I did, for we're neck deep in trouble. Of the spider kind.
Need a maid with a broom, not a witcher.
You fail to understand. These are huge. The size...
Not talking about spiders then.
Call them what you will. You must smash the rogues, will you?
First things first.
Not far now. I knew we would agree.
Arachnomorphs don't look much like bunnies, but they sure breed like them.
You make mountains out of molehills, Vilmar. Lads, I find your concern touching, I do. Yet I've long awaited. Ah! It seems my guide has arrived.
Greetings.
Greetings to you, White Wolf. I presume you saw my notice? Forgive me, I should introduce myself. Count Belladal, a great admirer of your deeds.
Thanks. Not some...
But Count, sir, do you mean to go off with just this witcher? A right hardy fellow he is, no ponce, I'm sure. But your expedition's too risky on the whole. And not taking us with you's, pardon my saying it, right daft.
You exaggerate, Vilmar. I believe I can manage to survive half a day without... My guards lament, Witcher, but you must forgive them. Now, to get down to brass tacks. As you've no doubt gleaned from the notice, I've a rather extraordinary proposition for you. I'm a lover, Witcher, of nature. A devotee of the wild. And Toussaint is home to several species not encountered elsewhere. I'd like you to accompany me on an expedition whose aim is to... preserve them. Yes. Naturally, you'll protect me should the need arise. My ever-vigilant guards, see, will report any reckless behaviour to my wife if I get so much as a scratch. And then...
Count Belladal? Famous poultry...
Well, that was my grandpapa. Dear man. But my trip... The very reason for my frequent visits to Beauclair, during which...
Really need a witcher to, partake? Got guards of your own?
I could, surely. But they too deserve a bit of rest, relaxation. Right, lads?
Ah, so this is about a rich man, bored stiff...
There's also Clarissa, who...
Vilmar, please.
Who what?
My daughter. I always return... but we did not meet to chat about my family.
Need some details before I can say anything. Where are we going? What am I supposed to do exactly?
In the roundest terms, we shall admire the local...
Preserve?
Of this device, see? A Parastysamac. It captures...
A Paracesta what?
It's like a movable megascope, capturing moments, transforming them into illusion.
So, you want me with you?
Well, that's more or less what it amounts to, yes. Except you will first have to track down the creatures I wish to capture. Well, and should any trouble arise, we'll have you...
Pretty unusual.
I couldn't agree more, yes. And,
Don't mind if we actually talk about exactly...
Why ever would I? Please. Sublime! We've a deal!
Doesn't seem hard.
Sublime. Before coming here, I dispatched requests to several local hunters. They located the habitats of the species...
Good thinking. It'll save us some time. Won't need to track.
Yes, let's. The light...
Drink! Give me a drink!
Seems I got the map, so I'll lead. Wouldn't rather be out here with those guards of yours?
You jest. It's deliverance to emerge from under their wings, believe me. They're overprotective, oppressively so. I wish to admire the wildlife, preserve it, not watch them kill it in a fit of misguided fear for my life.
What if the wildlife attacks us?
Then we shall have no other recourse. I do not wish to be something supper for you, but as long as they remain...
Map says there should be some panthers around here. I'll stay close and keep your eyes peeled. Something like a bear.
But one request, Witcher. Avoid bloodshed, if at all possible.
Hear that? Deer, I think.
Incredible. Sharp as a razor, your hearing.
Hear that? Panthers.
Frankly, I did not hear a thing. Clearly, your senses are far more acute than mine. I must rely on them.
Damn poachers. Snares. Looks like they were hoping for a bear. Panther got caught instead.
Look, cub. Will you help the mother?
Give it a shot. Gotta calm her first. Likely to lunge at us otherwise.
Brilliant. Brilliant. You a superb image. Brilliant. You freeing folk called witches' heartless. This will put the light in us.
Peristysomax upset the animals. Better get out of here.
Cannot abide poaching. I'm content you share my love for animals.
Got pretty broad interests for a man of the city.
I suppose I dabble in my share of things. Wine, nature, painting. I imagine the life of a witcher must be rather more monotonous. With all due respect.
It is. Never boring, though.
I, for one, cannot fathom only ever consorting with the same creatures, day in and day out.
Got a wife?
Yes. What's that got to do with anything?
Nothing. Just asking. Shh. Hear him.
It's those...
centipedes. Giant. Underground tunnel burrowers. Make a distinct sound. We can use that to track them. Sounds loud and clear here. Must be near the nest. We're here.
Well, this vantage point's no good. I shan't capture a good image from here.
All right, wait. We'll find you a better spot that's safe, too. Tread lightly. Giant centipedes sense the softest sounds, the lightest vibrations.
Wait! We would have find a safe place for me first.
Wait, Sophie.
I see you're simply unreliable. Disturb them and... Find a place where I would have a good view. Instead, you ran into their lair.
Sorry, got carried away.
Exhilarating. Positively exhilarating. Thank you. I've one more request. Local peacocks performing their mating ritual. I'd love to see that. Apparently, a flock dwells not far from here.
We can go. Just don't count on peeping at them while they mate. Season ended a month back.
Oh, that's terrible. I so wish to capture their splendorous tails in full bloom. Is there nothing you can do if they prove uneager to present? Perhaps challenge them somehow? Goad them?
What did you have in mind? Don't have a tail myself, and I'm not likely to sprout one anytime soon.
My thoughts were more along the lines of witcher magic. They say you can exert influence over lesser creatures.
Yeah, guess I can try. Can't promise you anything, though.
Splendid. Consider me contented. I cannot pinpoint the flock's location, but a hunter I know told me a few likely spots. I'll mark them for you.
All right. Let's go find some peacocks. I was wondering, why peacocks?
My daughter is rather fond of them. There will be a treat for her.
We're close. Eyes in the back of your head. Feather from the rump, coated in suet. Cock shed it recently, and the suet's got a distinct scent. Ought to be able to track the flock.
A witcher in action. What a treat to watch.
Hear that? They're calling to each other.
Fabulous. We're getting close. Oh, that's lovely. Now, just splay the tails.
See what I can do. Find a good spot.
Ready? Use your magic, Witcher! Oh, this'll be a masterpiece! I'll please!
Giant centipedes! Damn it!
Where did they come from?
Must have followed us. Get back!
Get him! Do not look in my direction! Direction!
All over now.
That was tense. I believe I've had my fill of excitement for today. What a wonderful adventure.
Get everything you wanted?
Yes.
In that case, time to get back to your camp. Returning your lord to you, safe and sound.
You've our gratitude, Master.
You see, lads, there was nothing to fear.
Thank you, Witcher, for looking after our day count. Seems the jaunt did 'em wonders. Breathed some new life into 'em.
Wait here a moment, Geralt. I have to fetch my coin pouch. Pay my dues.
New life? He was feeling down?
Made no mention, did he? 10 years back, his last, Clarissa's her name, took a spill off her horse. Been bedridden ever since. Cannot walk of her own. She'd been the life of the house before the calamity. A merry sprite what filled every corner with joy. Count would oft take her out on trips. She loved animals too. Excursions he makes now, or rather paintings he brings home. They's her only window on the wider world.
Sorry to make you wait. Some of your shenanigans proved a little unnerving. Yet I still consider the day a success. Seems even witches have a sense of humour. Do something deranged at times. Good to know.
Yeah, I'm a wild and crazy guy.
Your reward. Use it well.
Thanks.
I've one other matter I wish to broach. In a few days' time, I shall exhibit my work for some friends, my cult.
Why not, if I'm in the area?
Splendid. In that case, I shall see you at my lodgings. I'm staying with a friend while in Tucson near...
I'll be by. See ya.
All right. You wear my ring when you hold me tight, Frosty.
I wonder if I can get a loan from Chelsea. And if I were to put up my rifle soon.
How you like that silver?
Any tidings?
All taken care of. Went inside and cleaned up.
Thank the gods. And you too, of course.
Buy some. Time I got back on the path. So...
I've sweat dripping down my bum furrow. Sounds of a fight. Have to hurry.
Slow down. Whoa.
gotta be. Attacker had no trouble knocking over the cart. River Muck carried the body in his cart. Claw wounds from 5 separate claws, spread of a small human hand. Footprints, small bare feet, lead deeper into the cellar, fell down the stairs, broke his neck. Killed with a single blow. Throat torn open by man-like jaws, man-like, except for long fangs. Massacred by a vampire. Not an Ekimara, though, or a Fletter, Bruxa, gotta be. Busted ribs, blood from the ears. Black blood and moon dust. Could be lifesavers. Hurled against the wall with great force. Used this to batter down the grate. You. Saw you at the inn. I know what you are. Don't know why you killed these people, though. Clearly wasn't for their blood. We don't have to fight.
You are wrong.
I cannot let you leave.
Show me what you got. Doing at the table, though. Stinks. Waterlogged. Both hands amputated. Body was quartered just as I thought. for some time. Head swollen, and something took a few bites out of it. Something in the throat. A pouch, bulging with coins. Nilfgaardian florins, from several different provinces. If the murderer did this, means we're dealing with a sentient thinking beast. Body was chopped up after death. Blows struck with great force, but bones sliced through, not crushed. Creature that killed him had long claws, sharp as a witcher's blade. First sank its claws into the victim's heart. No Bruxa did this. Third hand. A spare? Except it's clearly not the victim's. Guardsmen must have not noticed it as they picked everything up. How's this possible? Still warm. Blood still flowing. Several monster species can regenerate. Never heard of that happening to their severed limbs, though. Or of their limbs seeming completely alive after so much time. Examine the tissue more closely later. Might learn something. So, murderer was clearly a monster, but not a Bruxa. But then why'd the Bruxa come here for the severed hand? And who does the hand belong to? Why the hell's it still warm? Now, pouch shoved down the victim's throat. What's the significance? And why was he chopped up into pieces? Lots of questions, no answers so far. Need to know about the other victims. I'll ask Palmerin to get me in to see the Duchess.
Hey-ya!
Ah, a professional. I like to train.
What have you got? Care for a quick round?
With the heft of man and the mighty cry, I pound steel and watch sparks fly.
It is worse than that. Welcome. Welcome.
Abercrombed and Greft of...
Let's see me. So long.
What are your needs, master?
No, you're busy, but you up.
Loosen up. They should have put the court in.
Need to speak to the Duchess, urgently.
All right, you scamps. Story's done. Go find your parents.
But the Pomerine, what about the story of Ritik and the dragon?
They're tales for another time. But take a good look at the man who stands before you now. This is Geralt of Rivia, the master witcher who lent his valiant hand to the defeat of the giant Goliath.
Master Witcher, is it true virtue always trumps villainy?
Not always. Could go either way. Sometimes virtue wins, sometimes villainy gets the upper hand. Still worth being good.
But why? If it doesn't mean you'll win.
Palmer and Story, think back. A decent man attracts other good folk, makes friends he can count on. A rogue? Well, he can only count on other rogues. And who would you rather have for a friend?
A man of virtue?
I must agree. Now, that will do for questions. Go find your parents. Her Enlightened Highness has doubtless arrived at the tourney grounds to watch the battle in the arena. If we hurry, we'll be in time to speak with her before the spectacle begins.
Lead the way. Who's fighting? Nilfgaardian gladiators?
Close, but not quite. As we'll soon see.
Someone's gonna fight a Shaelmaar? With only some Balrog's tail to confuse it, slow it down?
Whatever is the problem? The beast is a gift from the Emperor, no less.
Shouldn't torment the beast. How would you like to be dumped in an arena, blindfolded with a string of bells dangling from your ass?
Pity a monster. You, a witcher?
I slay monsters who are a threat to humans. You're out to humiliate one to entertain a crowd. No knight will gain any glory from this. Who's going to fight the beast?
Guillaume, the young man.
Yeah. Mentioned he'd promised his heart's cap.
Great love demands great sacrifices.
Let's go.
I dedicate my imminent victory to fair Lady Vivian.
It's begun. The fight shall have to end first. We must wait.
thing was true, then 12 suns, 8 suns, spread the light that's true. And the bow who beats at the lobster's worst, for the witch who wooed the Shelmar, then its foul heart turned. Dodge died, flee afraid, his razor. The Shelmar lies defeated by Geralt of Rivia, master of the witchering trade. Behold, as the last gasps of life seep from the beast.
Master Geralt, do what you must. Finish the deed!
Monster's no threat. No need to kill it.
A victor may always show mercy. It is his right. Long live Geralt the Merciful! Pikeman, see to the beast.
Guillaume.
The lat came damned close to dying.
I'm fine. Not hurt at all. Vivian?
Smile as befits a hero and keep silent. Speech clearly pains you. She approaches.
Geralt, we must talk. Vivian.
You shall talk later, in the medic's tent.
Geralt, magnificent, breathtaking.
Your Grace.
We knew that to summon you was a brilliant idea. We are delighted, ravished to have struck upon it.
And I'm truly honored.
See to our young hero. Hop, hop. For we must make off with Geralt. We should talk. We had been long awaiting your arrival. Had nearly lost hope. Then suddenly, that entrance, so spectacular.
Your Grace. Shelmars are dangerous creatures, even to knights in full plate armor.
Nonsense. In Toussaint, knights have battled beasts for mere glory since time immemorial. True. Guillaume suffered.
What about the crowd? Say the Shelmar had vaulted into the stands. Would have been a massacre.
Geralt, though we value your fortuitous intervention in the arena, we would remind you your services have been retained. And as...
Your Grace, my
Naturally. We shall need Damien. He led the investigation pending your arrival. But whatever... Tell us, have you come alone? Or did Viscount Julian accompany you?
Wish to see Dandelion, Your Grace?
Yes. I mean, no. Yes. But solely to tell him we regret. Yes, deeply regret rescinding the debt. If we could turn back time, we would make certain he sat in a tower till he rotted. No, we would ensure he was broken on the wheel, then drawn, hanged, and quartered. The very man we would entrust with these tasks. Damien de la Tour. captain of my personal guard.
Your Grace, Witcher.
Greetings. Sorry to have to tell you, but the guardsmen handling the...
I know already. The creature...
No. A Bruxa. A kind of vampire.
You know this how?
Through careful analysis of the evidence, both on the riverbank.
Do you mean to insinuate the investigation thus far?
Geralt insinuates nothing of the sort.
I examined the body of the beast's last victim. Might have found something. Need to analyze it. A quiet place, that's what I could use most right now. Also like to hear all you know about the previous victims. Take it Sir Delatour is my man for that.
Firstly, call me Damien, please. Secondly, you should know I spoke against summoning you here. I've heard much about you. You bring trouble, or thus far have, always. And we've enough trouble as it is. Yet we are capable of defeating the beast on our own, without an outsider's help. I've no doubt about it.
Damien, we settled the matter of the Witcher's employ some time past. Definitively. Since... Are the legends true? Do Witchers usually demand that which you find at home, yet did not expect?
Not quite, Your Grace. Law of surprise, it's something we invoke at times, but rarely. Usually we just take gold.
Disappointing. This law sounds rather romantic. On the other hand, on returning to the palace, we would likely find impatient. I fear you'd not have much use for any of the surprises we are likely to come upon. Thus we've decided you shall receive the deed to a vineyard, Corvo Bianco, and the sum. Title to the vineyard shall be given to you at once. Surely you'll need lodgings while you hunt. The coin, however, will...
Lovely, generous gesture, Your Grace. But Corvo Bianco, isn't it the Duchy's...
Is it now? The Chancellery's bungled things again, we fear. Yet, in its mood, a morgue should present minimal problems to a Witcher. What's more, nothing enhances a wine's reputation better than a grim legend.
Thank you, Your Grace. I accept the contract, of course, but as I said... How'd it start? Who was the first victim?
Crespia was the first to die. He was famed once for his many glorious tournament victories. Then he grew old, hung up his sword, and took to winemaking.
Crespi was not loved by the wine merchants. He was ruthless in business and thought to cheat many a time. He asked us for a dispensation from all court ceremonies. We did not grant it. We could not.
How'd he die?
Quite unusual, the circumstance. He was at a feast when suddenly one of his fellow feastgoers noticed he was missing. The town watch found him an hour later, on his hands and knees, propped against the town pillory, his sword hanging from his neck. He had died of wounds inflicted with claws, not...
So he died suddenly, but the body was on its knees, meaning...
So it seems.
Second murder. Tell me what you know.
In the city there are certain nooks. No one reasonable ventures there after dark. Ramon Dulac's corpse. With the first murder, terror gripped the city. Its inhabitants grew wary, kept to safe areas. Consequent...
Criminals fear the beast? Telling in a way. Take it you've excluded the possibility...
Do you believe me an amateur? Not hands, but claws.
His body was found in the gutter, dressed in nightshirt and cap, a pillow placed under his head, and his sword replaced by a bed warmer. Ramon Dulac...
Someone went to a lot of trouble to make him look ridiculous. Maybe revenge was the motive.
It's not out of the question. Dulac had shady dealings with the criminal underworld, but...
So, the first two victims were knights.
The same could be said of the third. Sir Delacroix was wont to claim that in modern times knights face new challenges.
He made a veritable fortune in the grain trade. Palmerin even nicknamed him Sir...
Found a coin pouch on his body. Contained florins dating from various times. hailing from different
Delacroix loved coin, true, but had no patience for...
Lots of similarities between the victims. All the bodies were found in strange places under extraordinary circumstances.
These were honorable men. We are horrified by the disdain, the disrespect with which they...
Might be the point. From what you say, none was a model of virtue. Ever considered that's what the beast's trying to draw attention to?
All the murdered men were knights who swore fealty to the 5 chivalric virtues.
Knights of Toussaint swear fealty to what virtues exactly?
Honor, wisdom, generosity, valor, and compassion.
5 virtues. Why are they so important?
Strange question.
Your Grace, forgive me. I'm a foreigner trying to understand another...
You are forgiven. According to legend, the virtues we cultivate were bestowed upon us by the Lady of the Lake. In Toussaint, we believe men of low birth should be simple-hearted and obedient. We expect much more, however, of our knights. They are to be soldiers. At the time of his dubbing, a knight vows to demonstrate throughout his life on...
Beast seems to be pointing up moral decay, denouncing it. Victims were all humiliated. Might have been murdered to
honor compromised by the pillory. Wisdom by ridicule. Generosity by a coin pouch shoved down a throat. It seems to fit, true, though not perfectly.
Can't discount the theory if it's on the lips of everyone in town. Say our reasoning's right. Next murder will be just as showy and denounce the victim's lack of the 4th virtue, valor. We can also assume...
Let's think. At the moment, all the knights are either at the tourney grounds or in the palace gardens.
Milton mentioned something. Seemed excited to prance around in a bunny costume. Hang on. Strange circumstances, a night...
Could it be that simple? Is Milton de Peyrac-Peyren the next victim?
Milton also knew Delacroix. Told me so...
Damien! To me something so obvious. De Peyrac-Peyren, Crest...
They were a team?
They were close friends, tightly knit, and as such earned the trust of our father, the Duke.
Unlikely to be a coincidence. Beast must know it too. Your Grace, we need to find Milton.
Rather problematic. You see, the garden entertainments are due to start, and he's disguised as the Hare, hiding somewhere, waiting for some tipsy courtiers to find him. The Hare's hiding place.
We must call off the game, at once.
First and foremost, we must remain calm. Damien, order the garden searched immediately, but discreetly. By no means can we disrupt the festivities. And you, Witcher, follow me. My gardens, my... A murder is out of the question. I will not allow it. Not near my palace. Horses! Ready our horses! Your Grace!
What the hell? Why, I should... Your Highness,
Mind it doesn't get wrinkled. Onward! Hey! That is silk! Be careful! Give it to me!
Your grace seems right at home in a saddle.
Like the wind! Clear the path! Clear the way, I said!
Hurry!
We must go to where the game is being held. The participants must find a unicorn's horn, a golden fish, and a phoenix egg. With these in hand, they can deduce where the hare, Milton, hides.
Mean we need to find those things too?
We've no other option, but time is of the essence, so we shall have to break the rules. Second foot, through here. I shall show you where the hunt plays out. Then we will split up. You will get hold of the unicorn horn and the golden fish, while I nab the phoenix egg. That will be quickest.
Golden fish. Do I need a rod or a net?
Please, Geralt. It's not a real fish. Look there, towards the water. See the lights? The hunters are trying to hook the fish from boats. You must simply dive in and find it.
The unicorn. How do I catch it?
It's terribly skittish, true, but I'm sure you will find a way to earn its trust. Turns round, it's over there, look. The golden fish and the horn both contain things or clues that will help us find Milton. Once you have fish and horn, find me among the other phoenix egg hunters. All clear? Then let's get to it.